YouTube, back with another video, Hold on. Let me get some good lighting. There you go. Back with another video. So today, it's kind of crazy. I've already had this car a month now, and I really want to give you guys my thoughts and what I think about the car since I've been having it. I just washed it, so let me show y'all what it's looking like right now. Bam, look at that thing. It might look a little different now too. I actually got the car tinted, windshield tinted, got the sides tinted. Damn, look at that paint. That paint hitting right now. Sheesh. Yeah, it looks good. Still quiet though, you can't really hear it. But it's looking good. But that's besides the point. But yeah, I've had this car a month now, and man, this is my second Mustang, if you don't know. I had a Gen 2 before this one. This is the Gen 3. And the Gen 3, you'll know it's a Gen 3 based off the headlights, and you know, and the backlights are a little different. They have like a little bit of an angle in them. But man, having this Gen 3, it honestly feels like a whole new car. Even though it looks the same slightly as a Gen 2 Coyote, which is a 2015 through 2017, it drives a whole lot different, especially if you had a Gen 2 in an automatic and now you're driving a Gen 3 in an automatic, because it's two different transmissions. The Gen 2 has a 6R80 transmission, and a Gen 3 has that infamous 10-speed transmission. I don't know the exact name for it, but you know the technical name, but everybody calls it a 10-speed. Amazing so far. 1 month ownership. It's been a little bit over a month actually, you guys. I got it at the end of July. It's the end, actually no, I got it at the end of June. Sorry, I got it at the end of June. It's like mid-August right now, so a little bit over a month. But you know, I just want to give my thoughts on how I feel about the car so far. And honestly, I'm actually really loving the car. If you guys have seen the last video, I put the car on the dyno, and this car completely shocked me, you guys. This car made 409 to the wheel. I'm just gonna say 410, honestly. It made 410 to the wheel bone stock. When I first got my green car, my Gen 2 Mustang, that car only made 365 or 368 to the wheel, which was, to me at the time, was a lot. Cause I came from an Infinity before that. I had a G35, and that car only made 270 to the wheel. So to make an extra 100 wheel from that old car to a Gen 2 Mustang really wasn't that bad to me. But now to go from my Gen 2 Mustang to now this Gen 3, to make 410 from 368 when that car was stock compared to this car when it's stock, is just insane to me, you know? Like wow, like Ford really did their thing with this car. But man, it's getting hot out here. Let me go inside the car and show you guys what it's looking like inside. All right, you guys. Whew. It's hot outside. I had to move inside the car. But yeah, this car, man, it's honestly really shocked me how good it's been. Like I really didn't expect this car to, you know, surprise me as much as it did. You know, I thought it was just gonna be, you know, slightly better than my last Mustang, but no, this car is a lot better than my last Mustang. And you know, I've actually driven a few other cars before getting this car. I've driven, I was cross-shopping this car and like a couple Corvettes. I was cross-shopping the C7 Corvette and a C8 Corvette. And honestly, this car feels more like the C8 Corvette than the C7. But the Gen 2 feels more like the C7 Corvette than a C8 Corvette. It's weird, I guess because it's like the age, I don't know. I think it's the transmission mainly. Like the transmission in the C7 is different from the transmission in the C8. But that's besides the point. The whole point I'm trying to say is this car feels just as good as a C8 to me. It's crazy. But yeah, this car has been amazing to me so far. I've really been enjoying it. If I could say like the main thing I'm enjoying about this car the most has to be the 10-speed transmission, because you know, having the 6R80 car, let me show you guys, you're so used to using these paddle shifters when I used to have my 6R80 to go up and down the gears. just because it was a slower transmission. So, you know, to kind of make it react fast, you'd want to use the paddle shifters. But in this car, the car shifts so fast and it knows exactly what you want to do every time. It's like, I almost never use these paddle shifters. It's just crazy. I never thought I would say that. I've always been the type of person to, like, every time I jump in a car, I want to use the paddle shifters. And this car and the C8 are the only cars I've ever been in where I was like, oh, like the transmission knows what I want to do. Now I will say this about the 10-speed. If you're just in drive mode, regular standard drive mode, it's not gonna do what you want it to do. You have to put this car in track mode and you have to put it in sport mode with the shifter, and then it'll like really like drive how you want it to drive, really aggressive. It'll go gear by gear, it won't jump any gears, skip any gears. It'll go through all the 10 gears for you and feel a lot better. But yeah, like that would probably be like the #1 thing I've been loving about this car is the 10-speed transmission for sure. Second thing has to be, let's see. Second thing I've been loving about this car has to be the digital dash I was telling you guys about. This digital dash is amazing. As you guys can see, I've actually been driving the car in standard mode. Like I haven't even been putting it in, you know, what is it? They have the sport gauges, like, you know, that's cool and all that. Like, let me show you guys a little closer. That's cool. And you get the track gauges. That's cool as well. But I don't know, for me, I don't know, maybe I'm just old school. You know, I just like these normal gauges, like standard, analog. Like, I don't know, it just worked with me. I like how you got the little 3 things in the middle to tell you your engine temp and your intake temp and your my transmission temp. But yeah, like that's probably the second thing I love about this car. The third thing I love about this car probably has to be, let me show you guys. I'm gonna go right back outside again. The third thing I actually like about this car, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think I would like this as much as I do now that I've actually been owning the car for a little while. And it has to be the white stripe. The white stripe makes this car stand out so much compared to any other Mustang. Like look at that. Imagine if it was just a black Mustang. Like, it would look cool, but you know, the white stripe kind of do something for me. I don't know. Like, I think the white stripe really makes it look a lot more unique. Kind of almost gives it that GT 350 look, you know, maybe something between a Mach 1 and a GT. If they ever had something like that, like this is probably what that would be, like just something with a stripe on it, you know, real simple. But it just makes it stand out a lot more, which is a good and a bad thing, because you know, if you're driving fast in this car and a cop catches you, you can't really run because you got this white stripe, you know. But we're not trying, I'm not telling anybody to run from the police now. I'm just saying that's something to think about if you're getting a Mustang. You kind of want it to be a little more low-key. But I like it like this. I like the white stripe. And another thing too, surprisingly, that I'm actually really liking about this car are these silver rims. I'm not even a silver rims type of person. I usually like black wheels on my car, but I think it looks really, really good. Like, look at that. I don't know why, I just feel like it looks good right now with the silver rims. I think it's like a really clean look, especially now that I have the car tinted. I think it just really comes together really good, like as a nice package. But yeah, like so far, I can't really, if I had to complain about anything about this car, the only thing I'd probably complain about, which I can't even really say is a complaint anymore, but I'll still bring it up, is if you have a 10-speed Mustang, you'll know what I'm talking about, is that you'll hear this whine. Let me show you guys. I don't know if you can hear a little bit of a whine when I got close to the car right there, but that's the transmission. When I first got this car, I thought the transmission was broken, but apparently these cars just make a transmission whine. It's like a high-pitched sound. But this car, it's like as I've been driving it more and more and breaking it in more, the sound has gone down a lot. When I first got it, you would have thought my car had a supercharger on it, like I was a Hellcat or something. But now it's actually a lot quieter. But that will probably be the first thing I hated about this car. The second thing I probably hate about this car is probably how quiet it is. Like you guys can hear, it's quiet at idle, which is cool, you know, nobody's really gonna know you're there. but it's also good because when you get on it, this car is actually pretty loud, like from the inside. And so I never really feel like I need to get an exhaust, but I do want my idle to be a little bit louder. So I actually have an H pipe that I'm gonna put on here, and you guys will probably see it in the next video on what it's gonna sound like. So stay tuned for that, for when I put the H pipe on. Next thing I don't like about this car, I don't know. So the next thing I probably don't like about this car, it might be these Recaro seats. I remember I mentioned that, but now that I've been driving the car for a little while, I actually don't think these Recaro seats are that bad, honestly. Like, they're not that bad. Obviously, they're not gonna be, you know, the most comfortable thing, but for when it comes to aggressive driving and, you know, feeling like you're in a sports car, like this car, like these seats hug you really, really good. So honestly, I would recommend them. Only reason why I wouldn't recommend them is they don't have the heated and cooled, like I've mentioned before in my taking delivery video, which, I mean, you know, it helps with the value of the car when it comes to resale value. But that's another thing too. I don't think I'm ever gonna sell this car, so I don't know. To me, it don't really matter about the resale value, but it's cool to have them anyway. I've never had them before. It's cool to have them. I don't think I'll get rid of them anymore. I was thinking about getting rid of them. I don't think I'm gonna get rid of them anymore. The next thing I enjoy about this car, which is a feature that I have not used yet, it's crazy to think about. This car has Apple CarPlay. Obviously, I'm not using Apple CarPlay right now, so I can't even tell you that I really enjoy it. But there's so many features in this car that I haven't actually gotten around to. I'm just telling you guys the feature that I've actually been using so far and that I've noticed, because I've had a Mustang before, so nothing's really too new to me that really like caught me by surprise. But yeah, this car honestly is amazing. If you're thinking about getting a Mustang, I highly recommend one. These Mustangs usually have a bad reputation, but honestly, this car is amazing. This car drives really good. The 10-speed is a monster. Stock form, all you gotta do is put headers, E85 and intake, and you're out of there. In the tune, you're gone. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cars, to make the amount of gains this car makes with the simple mods, you have to spend so much more money. And the car is nice too. You know, I feel like most people can honestly say, even if you're not a Mustang fan, this is a really nice car, you know? So this is a really short video. I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on how I feel about the car so far, having it a month now. And, you know, I see myself owning this car for a really long time. So you guys stay tuned for the next video. Probably gonna do an install, probably do the H pipe. Still want to lower the car, still want to do a whole bunch of other things, but y'all stay tuned, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.